North Korea has repeatedly supported acts of international terrorism.
President Donald Trump on Monday declared North Korea a state sponsor of terrorism, taking a major step beyond his war of words with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
This designation will impose further sanctions and penalties on North Korea and related persons and supports our maximum pressure campaign to isolate the murderous regime.
Trump cited the case of Otto Warmbier, a U.S. student who died on his return to the U.S. after he was imprisoned in North Korea. The terror designation comes in the wake of Trump's trip to Asia, where he sought backup on his tougher stance from North Korea's ally China. Since taking office, Trump has traded insults and threats with Kim and threatened in his first UN address to totally destroy North Korea if it threatened the U.S. or its allies. In September, North Korea conducted its sixth and most powerful nuclear test and is developing long-range missiles that could potentially reach the U.S. mainland.
North Korea broke its silence and has slammed the United States for redesignating it as a state sponsor of terrorism, calling it a serious provocation. Pyongyang's foreign ministry says that President Trump's decision will only intensify the regime's commitment to retain its nuclear arsenal. Our Kim Hyo-sun brings us the regime's latest remarks.
North Korea has criticized the U.S. for relisting the country as a state sponsor of terrorism. In its first reaction to President Trump's designation, a spokesman for North Korea's foreign ministry called the decision as a serious provocation. He also warned that Washington will be held accountable for all the consequences, while stressing that the designation will only strengthen the regime's resolve to retain its nuclear program. North Korea's state-run organization, the Korea-Asia-Pacific Peace Committee, released a separate statement which called for Washington to immediately withdraw its decision.
The U.S. must seriously ponder upon the fact that the anger and hatred of our military and people could lead to an undesirable retaliation.
As such a reaction comes a day after the designation, with no detailed threats mentioned, pundits forecast the regime will not immediately resume military provocations, but monitor the situation for the time being. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
Putting Mother Earth, the planet, to an edge. If one miscalculation of a missile, whether or not a nuclear warhead or just an ordinary dumb bomb, one explosion there that would hit somebody could cause a catastrophe. Because if those are really nuclear warheads, then it means the end of the world.
North Korea has sentenced Donald Trump to death for insulting its leader Kim Jong-un. A regime-run newspaper has reportedly called the US president a hideous criminal after Trump called Kim Jong-un short and fat in a tweet. The editorial said Trump should be put to death by the Korean people.
Gordon, as far as I know, I mean, the Chinese are sending sort of like an emissary, if you will, to North Korea to try to dial this back a little bit. What do you think happens?
Well, I think that certainly President Trump put a lot of pressure on his Chinese counterpart, Xi Jinping, so the Chinese decided that it was time to send someone to talk to Kim Jong-un. This is clearly the result of the president's visit to Beijing, and it's a good sign. Now, I don't know what the Chinese are going to say. They could probably say something that is not going to help our interests, but nonetheless, Trump has gotten the balls rolling, and this could actually end up pretty well for us.
You know, Gordon, I was wondering, I know the the Chinese have already committed to freezing all financial assets and their entire banking system to make sure no money gets to North Korea. I guess for now we take them on their word. Do you trust the Chinese to deliver on this, though, to do it if for no other reason than out of their own interests?
No.
Pyongyang conducted 2 tests of the Hwasong-14 ICBM, which they claimed is capable of striking the continental United States. The Kim Jong-un regime has claimed it has succeeded in developing re-entry technology, but Seoul and Washington still remain skeptical.
There will be hunger, agony, and everybody suffers. And only because 2 nations are playing with their dangerous toys.